Hello everyone, and on this episode of So Blessed by Jess, we are back in our quilt called Flowers Through the Lattice. I am really enjoying this so long. I've created my first block, lots of cutting going on, kind of a little nervous about it. But here's one of the blocks. Isn't it gorgeous? So it came with a bundle of fat quarters, which I showed on a previous video, and I will link it right here in the card. And yeah, so I'm trying to recreate just these. So squares, and they might not go exactly in this order, but I'm like, okay, I need that fabric, that fabric, that fabric, and there's plenty of fabric left over. So I could almost, with the color pieces, make the quilt twice and just have to get like this gold and the pinks and stuff like that. But isn't it gorgeous? Oh, and I think I follow the pressing instructions and everything. Yeah, I just did my own thing like I normally do. Very organic that I am. So let me show you. Since we are like out of the back to school and things like that, a lot of things are on sale. And like I use the summer organization pieces, I also found this guy. And you can see he was only a whopping 75 cents at the Wally World. Pencil case, gotta love it. And so I cut up a block and I just put it in here. So we have some orange peels. We have some of the backgrounds that go to the orange peels. And then, which there are two sizes of these. So we can make that block. And then we have some quarter square circles with some white background that we'll be making. And that will entail these two blocks right here. We're going to be making a 4-patch to go in the corners. And then we have some sashing. So you're ready to follow along and hang out with me. I'm going to give a couple tips on how to create these. They're by no means perfect, and I am not perfect, and I am okay with that 110%. Don't know why I say 110%, but it's just something that I say to my 4th graders all the time. So yeah. All right. I'm having so much fun. I hope you have fun watching along also. And let's go ahead and get into the block. Okay. So like I said before, all right, so this is the block that we had. Let me see if I can zoom out. There we go. Ooh. So this is the block that we're going to make. I'm going to put it right here. You can just see the bottom half of it. Okay. And we're going to zoom back in a little bit. There we go. So we are going to make 8 of these. So we're going to take 8 quarter square triangles and put, I have no idea what the correct term for these are, but we're going to put these on it. Okay, and create that piece. So we're going to do that 8 times. Oh, let's pick them all up. And then we're going to take our orange peel, and these are 2 different sizes. So we're going to take the smaller ones first. We're going to put those on. Then we're going to take the larger ones because they're longer. And sew those on the other side. Then I made 2 of these strips. One's in a background with green. The other one is, if I can get to it here, the background with red. And then I'm just cutting segments from that and making a 4-patch, which is in my corners. Oh, I'm missing my red sashing. Then we have our cornerstones, which are in the middle, and then our red sashing. So let's start pinning. All right, let me move all this stuff. So I'm still pretty new to this whole curvy block stuff. So if you have any tips and tricks that you like using, you know, please leave them in the comments below. Like, help a girl out every now and then. It's okay. I'm not claiming to know the world, and that is wonderful to me. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this white block and we are going to fold it in half. And I'm just going to press, try not to stretch anything out. Okay, and it's going to create that line. And then I'm going to take my quarter circle. There we go. Create another line, and we're going to match it up and pin it. Okay, then we're going to take the end, we're going to match it up. And pin. And do the same thing to this side. Okay, so we're going to do that 8 times. Oops, let me get back to the frame. We're going to do that 8 times and pin it like this. It's going to kind of have a concave look to it. It's going to be bendy, but as soon as we sew that 1/4 inch, press it out, it'll be straight, just like the block itself. Okay, so we're going to do that 8 times. We're also going to take our orange peel, because I like to have everything set up. And we're going to take the smaller one. We're going to go ahead and pin this just like we did with the first one. I'm just listening to my kids out back or outside. I think Olivia's playing video games. It's pretty late at night. It's almost time for her to go to bed. All right, so I'm going to do that. When I finish that, I'll press it and then add. Oof, if I can pick it up. I'm having a hard time today. This one to this side. So I'm going to go ahead and sew. Show you what it looks like on the machine. Sewing it, we're going to be taking our time, and then we can start putting our block together. Okay, so here it is. Well, let me get my stiletto out. So I have this tool right here. Oops, that's my seam ripper side. Just so that I can hold down the fabric as I go and I can feed it underneath. So you'll see me working through that. Let's see if I can get a better picture here. You guys deserve the best that I can give. There we go. I think that works. I can still see, you can still see. All right, we're gonna kind of stretch this over a little bit and just kind of take little chunks. Okay, just take your time doing your curve. I know, I mean, it's kind of sewing at your own risk. I sew over my pins, and I'm okay with that. If you're not comfortable, go ahead and take them out. All right, there's the first one. And I always try to do the orange peel first so then I can pull it off and iron it out. And go from there. So I use my stiletto to line up my fabrics. And I use a scant 1/4 inch, so I'm not quite using a 1/4 inch all the way down. It'll give me a little bit more room too, so when I'm trimming, because we're gonna trim all of these blocks down to what the pattern says. And then, like this one's bunching a little bit, we're gonna open that up. Try to flatten it out a little bit, kind of pull it to the side. There we go. Okay. All right, we're gonna pull the pins. Sorry about that. We're going to pull our pins, and when I iron it, I'm going to iron it to the inside. I'm going to iron it towards the orange peel. All right, I'm going to move my stuff out of the way because I'm a messy person today. I really need to clean the sewing room. I know all of us crafters have that same, but all right. So I'm sewing or I'm pressed towards the orange peel. And when you turn it around, that's what you have. It's looking okay, it's looking great. Now, we're going to fold the orange peel back up, create that center crease again. Then we're going to go to wrong sides together, pinch, and now we can put right sides together and start pinning again. And I try not to go all the way to the edge with my pins so that I can get that little scant 1/4 inch and not run over my pins. So I didn't really say that to begin with. Okay. All right. Lots going on. Oh, my daughter is having the time of her life playing video games. Okay, start sewing again. Get our little stiletto out so we can maneuver our fabric to the best of our abilities. Remember, scant 1/4 inch is the name of the game, so we have room. The year of the curve, baby. Oh yeah. Curve and sewing. I can hear the cheerleaders already. You go, girl, you got this. All right. And as I go, I'm just unpinning. Again, with this one, we're gonna go from the back and we're gonna fold it forward. We're gonna iron it towards the fabric, featured fabric for the block, not the background. Okay, so that's what this block's gonna look like at the moment. And I am going to trim it down, and I don't want to give it away which one I have, but I do have a Lori Holtz trim it ruler, and it fits perfectly over it so that I can trim it up to the proper length. So that works for me. All right, so we're gonna make 8 of these. Let me go ahead and cut my thread. We are gonna make 4 of these guys. Let's see if I can iron it out real quick for you. Just try to press and not stretch. We're gonna make 4 of these. So everything is pressed towards the center, and it's gonna keep my seams from being bulky on the corners. Okay. We are going to make 4 of these. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish it up. We're gonna put it together, show you how to put it all together, and go from there. All right, now that I've created all of my pieces, I'm gonna put it over there. We are going to make our 4 patches, and we need 4 of these. Okay, now I have them pressed so that they nest and their seams lock. So we're gonna go ahead and sew these together. There needs to be 4 of these. Okay. And then we need to take 2 of these sashings and add a mustard colored cornerstone. Okay. There we go. Oh. All right, so we're gonna have one of those. 4 of these. 8 that look like this that still need to be trimmed. And I haven't even ironed this one out yet, but hold on a second. Oh, no, I have it already. And 4 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these up to what the pattern tells me to. And these, we're going to lay out the block and sew it together. All right, let's start putting this together. So here's the middle. And let's get these out. These are going to go towards the center. And then these go like this with that in the center. All right. You'll probably be able to see this one here on the bottom the best. So this is how we lay out the block. And then these 2 pieces go down the center. And here is our next block. So, action. 4 patch. We're going to do that with all 4 of them. Then we are going to sew this sashing piece to both sides, sashing to both sides. Then the center strip, and we're all done. So I will go ahead and sew that together. and then show you and reveal the block. And after all that cutting, all that sewing, we now have another block made. How pretty is that? Those little birds and things. It's so cute. This is called the eucalyptus, and all the little budded rose fabric. I don't know, something like that, but it's really pretty. I'm really enjoying this quilt along with my kit. So we now have this block and this block. This block pops a little bit more, it has more contrast. It kind of gets a little muffled in there, but that's okay. I like it, and that's all that matters. So walking through the lattice, that is what we are in the process of making. It's a pretty quilt. Very, very pretty. So I'm going to continue just pulling fabrics, making one block at a time. This is going to be quite a little project that I'm taking on. It's going to be a little while, but you know what? Fiscal year. I have until next June 30th to get it done, and that's the end of the year of the curves. So if you didn't know, I'm doing it fiscally, and I started on July 1st. And that's like a running joke within some friends of our community. But anywho, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for following along. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the description box, or not description, but the comment box below, so that I can help you out in any which way that I can. Yes. Good to go. All right. Until our next video or short, I'll see you later. Bye.